We've reestablished with Gary Evans. And Gary, look, the fact is that we see a collapse in oil right now. Now, I guess the question becomes, back in the 80s, it took 2 decades to recover after the collapse. Are you guys expecting it to take that long again?
I think our industry needs to be prepared for at least a year to 2 years of lower prices. Fortunately for Magnum Hunter, I sold all of our oil properties, over $700 million in the last year and a half, because I felt like prices were too high. We're predominantly a natural gas company, but I have lots of friends, lots of executives, obviously, in the business. And, you know, we've been through this before, and what happens is costs come down. The service costs have got exorbitantly high during the last 4 or 5 years with the shale boom. They will come down, we will lower our cost, and we'll still be a vibrant industry, no doubt about that.
Well, and when we're talking about the past, we have to remind everybody, because you think that what exists now has been around forever, but we didn't have the shale oil boom back when oil prices collapsed the last couple of times we were talking about. Is shale oil responsible for this price dropping, or is it just the Saudis continue to produce a lot?
It's a combination of the world demand for oil has not been growing like it had historically. Then you combine that with Russia, you combine that with Kuwait, Iraq, and you combine that with a shale boom in the United States. And so what OPEC is telling us is they don't want to lose any more market share. They're letting the market go where it goes. And so right now we have about 1.5 million, maybe as much as 2 million barrels of excess supply. And let me tell you, our production is going to drop. If people think that it's going to stay at this level, we deal with a declining asset. Every day we come to work, we're producing less oil and gas if we don't drill. And the rig count's going to drop like a rock, and production's going to drop. In these shale plays, which have developed over the last 5 years, production declines are as much as 50 or 60%. So this will get rebalanced, but it may take another 1.5 years to do so.
Does it surprise you? Is it a little interesting? You could maybe say, be careful what you wish for. There was a lot of drill baby drill calling, 2006-07. After the BP spill, no permits. Suddenly, things were allowed to be permitted. The state started permitting opportunities, and now oversupply. It just makes you wonder, what will be that force that helps water or oil find its level once again?
Well, one thing for sure is lower prices do create greater demand. I mean, if you look back in the 70s and 80s when we had lower prices, people bought the big Suburbans and Excursions, and everybody drove more. And I think you will see some of that occur. We're obviously more environmentally friendly today, but countries like China and India that really don't have any of their own oil resources, they will use this oil opportunity to build their stockpiles and to continue growing their economy. So it will get in balance. I have no doubt about that, because we are dealing with a declining asset. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Gary, we only have about 30 seconds. I'm just wondering if all the capital's drying up now on new projects, particularly on shale oil for natural gas and oil.
Well, there's no question the capital markets have seized up. Fortunately, most of us in the business have got long-term debt, senior notes, so we've positioned ourselves with hedges to protect ourselves during this downturn. As you said earlier in the show, it's not our first rodeo. We've been through this before, and you should learn from past experiences, and I think we have.
Gotcha.
And so for our own company, we're reducing capital big time.
Okay.
We're telling service companies you've got to cut your costs.
Gary. Run out of time.
Okay.
Gary Evans, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.